Hi everybody, this is Alchemist2 and I'm back again with another series review. I just recently watched the most recent episode of Westworld. The episode was called Contrapasso. And in this particular episode, Dolores has some new functions that are quite intriguing. And she has a chat with the creator. And of course the creator mentions Arnold, and there was another host named Marvin who had a laser that was installed into his mainframe, or his body. And of course Elsie mentioned that, and she said it was in Orion's belt. It was a satellite link, and they were self-aware of that. And I thought, yeah, I had a feeling. I knew that something was hidden, and that was what it was, and I called it, even though I didn't know exactly what the hidden thing was actually. I really enjoyed this episode because Felix, who is a quote-unquote butcher, he finds a bird, one that's out of commission, and he decides to bring it back to life. And yeah, there's an interesting exchange with Maeve too, because she's supposed to be in sleep mode, and I thought, yeah, they're gonna have something else with her. And guess what? They did. But this was a very intriguing episode, and just really brought to mind a lot of aspects of existentialism and the whole idea of being locked in a loop versus freedom, and the creator versus the creation. And it's fascinating, and it's also kind of heady in the philosophy that it presents. I really like the fact that they're toying with all these different philosophical ideas. It's just so mesmerizing, I can't turn away. And it's surreal in many aspects of it, especially with what we see Dolores going through. And I love the fact that she said, when one of the players is there, one of the visitors, the one that was actually chosen by his brother-in-law for the fact of that he was not a threat to anybody, I thought, oh, that's just low. How could you say that? That's terrible. You're to your own brother-in-law. That's why my sister chose you. And it's just an abysmal slight. I would say, I'm a nice person, but that kind of remark, that snide, kind of smug conceit of his, and I just thought, how dare you? You were my family. Why would you make that kind of accusation when you know it's true? And I'm trying to change and he's trying to change who he is, and he does evolve. And I thought, oh, things are going to get very interesting. And they actually incorporate some confederales. And this is all due to a war aspect that they have programmed into Westworld, and it's becoming more and more multi-layered. And then they reintroduce the idea or the inception of the maze, and I thought it was definitely going to make a reappearance, which it did. But it was Dolores speaking to herself, and I thought, ooh, this is even getting more complicated and convoluted, but it's just really uncanny. And then the main villain, one of the bigwigs, who's after more, and I'm thinking that he's like the other patron, the one who chose the character who falls in love with Dolores later on. I just had this sense that something was going to commence between, and there you go. I don't know how I do this, but it's just, I am 100% accurate. I have theories. What if they find out that they are nothing more than a construct belonging to a virtual realm, and then that would totally mess with them. I think that so many of them are not sentient to the point of actually having the capacity to comprehend what that means. And it's just, it brings to mind the whole theory of this life in and of itself being a video game, and the programmers, we don't know who they are, or the Matrix. If you've seen the Matrix, you know of what I speak. But it's in the same kind of category, and it really messes with your mind. But that's what I like so much about Westworld, and it just keeps getting better and better. And the very end of it, when Felix programs the bird, because he was doing it for a promotion, and Elise, well, and actually no, it wasn't Elise, but his co-worker said, and it was all about definitions and ranking, and almost it had this sort of caste setting. He was being very derogatory. He said, "You're a butcher, and you'll always be a butcher. You know, don't make aspirations and don't dream big." I thought, how dare you tell him what he can and cannot. Well, yeah, in that kind of setting, his lot was what he was supposed to. That was his skill set, that he knew nothing. Well, it seemed to me that he had more talent than what he was letting on, and he reprogrammed that little sparrow. I don't know if it was a sparrow or a finch. Maybe it was a finch. I couldn't tell by looking at it. But he reprogrammed it, and it was chirping and flying around, and it lit on Maeve's finger, and she's sitting there ever so coyly, and she gives him that tell-all look, and she says, "Felix, we need to have a little chat." And I thought, oh, snap. Yeah, this is getting even more intriguing, so I'm looking forward to next episode. Definitely. But that's all I have to say. So, next time we chat, live long, prosper. Ciao, tutti!